Good morning, beloveds. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Heart of Magdalene. I'm Kirsten Hansen. I am Reverend Kirsten Hansen, the Reverend of the Heart of Magdalene Spiritual Heart Center. We join here every Sunday live, as we walk through weekly gatherings and teachings that are dedicated to honoring the heart of Magdalene, this heart of Magdalene, of this love of God so deep that she studied, she embodied, she embraced, she followed, she taught. And she knew within her heart was the sanctuary of the divine. And within her heart, she embraced the way of Jesus, the way of the light, and she embodied this beautiful light in a way of grace. And in the heart of Magdalene, we follow a deep commitment and heart devotion and reverence to this light. And I invite you as seekers to journey into the sacred realms where your divine wisdom is born. So, good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here with you. I'm so grateful to be able to walk this path of Magdalene with you. I am grateful to share the way of the light, the teachings that have been revealed since the beginning of time, the teachings that Jesus saw worthy of bringing to humans and dying for, which was to show us how to find the light within us, how to find the holy dwelling place of the divine, how to go home to his Father, to the place of his mother, the holy dwelling place of the divine. And all of that resides within you. So good morning. Good morning. And I invite you in this moment to take a deep breath. We're going to go through some teachings and some discussions and some studies. We're going to move you through the heartway, the gateway of Mary Magdalene, which is the way to the temples of the dwelling place within you. So first we stop. We stop and we take a moment. We take a moment to begin to recognize this light that's always present and available, this God presence, this essence that's always available for you. And in this moment, we begin an evocation. We begin with an evocation that opens up the space and brings us into harmony with the presence of the oneness, of the interconnectedness of all that is. This is a space and a way to begin to move you into the harmonic flow that brings in that state of grace, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of where you're at. So take a deep breath this morning. Take a deep breath. And I invite you to place your hand on your heart, your holy dwelling place, the connection to all that is, the connection to the universe, the space and place within. And feel this presence and this oneness, this beautiful light. Become aware of a beautiful light within your heart. You may see it, you may feel it, you may sense it, you may come to know it, but know that it is always there, even if you cannot see it. It isn't always available. We all have access to it always. So we start and we open up with this deep gratitude, this deep love for this breath, for this morning, for this oneness, for the capacity and the ability to connect into this holy dwelling place at any given time, because it is always present. We are grateful for this breath of life, for this moment, for this component within us that is always expressing the God essence, the love of God as us, through us, by us. We are grateful that we are a representation of this holy dwelling place, that God moves through us in a way that every action we take is a representation of our embracing the embodiment of the Most High, the richness of the Most High, that I am able to be representing the Most High, one with the Most High. I am grateful that all are welcome into this holy temple, this holy dwelling place, that the doors are never closed to this holy heaven, to this holy place, to this holy space. And I recognize the grandness and the vastness and the infinite, the infinitude that's available to us for us. In this moment, in this holy moment, I recognize that I have access to this kingdom and queendom of God by simply opening my heart into the awareness of this oneness. This oneness. See, I am one with the divine. I am the divine. I am that I am. And I am clear that when I open my heart and I make myself available and receptive, that I flow in this oneness, in this infinitude, in this greatness of this divine. And I realize in these moments of oneness, in this unification, that he is always within us. The Spirit of God, it moves up through us. And I realize in these holy moments, as I open in and move into the holy temple and move home to me, that I am living as one in the holy presence. I am living as one in this holy presence. See, I come home. I come home in this realization of my God essence and the God essence available, always flowing. And I'm thankful. I'm so very thankful that in this moment, so very thankful that in this moment, I too come home to my own divinity in this holy temple. And no matter what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, it is always there. It is always there. See, this presence, it's a loving presence. The doors are always open to me. They are never closed. Even in my darkest hours, they are never closed. They are always there, and I can always find my way home. The light always shines through the darkness. It always finds its way home, and I am thankful for this truth. And so as we speak today, I ask that these words are blessed, because I know as I speak these words, they are passing through me for you to be heard, for me to be said. And may my words be brought for peace and for love and for harmony into this space, into this world, bringing in and anchoring in the new way of unconditional love. Her love, as the feminine rises, we bring in this unconditional love. And so this morning, beloveds, I ask that you open your hearts and set aside all the spaces and places of information you think you know, and seek to hear something newly. Seek to hear something newly. And let the Spirit in. Let the Spirit in. Allow it. It is within you already. Allow it to step forward. So, beloveds, we open today. We open today in a discussion with a beautiful feminine aspect within the Kabbalah, within the tradition of Kabbalah, within the ancient Hebrew traditions. Her name is Shekinah. She has been present in our ancient traditions for a very long time, and she is considered the holy dwelling place of the divine. She is considered the holy dwelling place of the divine. Just like Sophia, she was present at creation. She was present at creation. She is God's breath within you. She is God breathing life into you. That is the Mother Divine. That is the Mother Divine. And she, when we embrace her, she supports the embracing of the embodiment of the Most High. The Most High is that of the God essence. The Most High is that of God's love. The Most High is enlightenment. And that is what Jesus teaches us, is to walk the way, the path, follow the path that he laid out for us to enlightenment. Now, see, Mary Magdalene knew this. She taught about this tree of knowledge. She taught about this in the beloved companion. She taught about walking through the spirals and the components of moving you out of the confines of self and into the light. See, Sakina, she is in us. She is always in us. She is the breath of life that moves through you. Life cannot exist without this divine mother. It just can't. It can't. That's a natural law of the human life. It's a natural universal law. And many, many spiritual traditions have known this since the beginning of time. We need both aspects to thrive. It is in her. It is in Sophia. It is in Ashtar. It is in Isis. It is in Aurora, the bringer of the new dawn. That she is living within us as our spiritual midwife, as our spiritual mother, that teaches us the wisdom and helps us gain the wisdom, gain the wisdom, two, learn to apply the wisdom, and three, to embody the principles of the wisdom that she's laying within us. See, she is the egg. She is the egg, which is the seed that gets laid in us from God, and she helps birth this wisdom. We must apply wisdom throughout all of our life. She is the sacred feminine. She is a true devotee of God, of this God essence, this oneness. And she has a devout willingness to surrendering to this God, surrendering to God, so that you can receive the Holy Spirit. Well, see, when you surrender, when you lay down all of your troubles, all of your thoughts, all of your desires, all of your wants, everything about you, and you seek to walk in the kingdom and queendom of God, when you seek that from the truest and most purest sense within you, you begin to understand the truth of your soul. See, your soul has never been defiled. Your soul is pure. Your soul is true. This is Mother Mary. Her heart was true. Her soul was true. It was pure. It had less to do with her being a physical virgin. That's the unenlightened male version of what that meant. What she had was a pure soul for God. She had a pure soul for God. Her holy dwelling place was one with God. So God knew he could implant his perfect seed, his son, in her. And she could carry that because, see, she was pure. She was whole. She was in the light. She was one with God. That had nothing to do with being a virgin. It had everything to do with being pure of heart. And in this place, she moved into being one with spirit. Sakina, Sakina, she is spirit. She is God's breath. She is one with the divine, which is why she is able to move through you. As you move through your journey towards enlightenment and you move closer into your awareness of the light, you begin to move away from ego-driven practices. You begin to slow down and become available to what the Most High has in store for you. You begin to apply spiritual principles. You begin to walk in the light. You become to walk one with God. You become a servant to the Most High. And you put aside all the things you think you want and you seek to do God's will. You begin to walk in a state of grace. And you begin to understand that the Spirit of God is always present, never in absence. And this is walking in the light. This is walking in a state of grace. See, circumstances, we are conditioned to believe that circumstances in our life are the actual components that block us from God. What actually blocks us from this awareness and this presence of God within our heart, in our holy dwelling place, is our belief that these circumstances take center stage. So within us, we must begin to refine ourselves. And this is where the beauty of Sakina comes in, this beautiful, divine spiritual midwife, this mother that conditions our heart to lean into the love of God. This is the heart of Magdalene, to lean into the love of God and seek nothing else but that truth. See, the Bible, it tells us that seek no God, seek nothing before me, place everything down. Now, that is beautiful when things are going well. That is beautiful when things are going well. And it's so easy because we can catch the wind and the Spirit of God and sing from the rooftops. One of the hardest spaces and places is to know that her breath is available to us in our darkest hours, to know that God's love is always present. See, we must condition ourselves with spiritual practices so rich that we keep our soil fertile. This is the Garden of Eden. It was a fertile garden with the tree of knowledge. And if we chose to use this tree of knowledge well, then we too could live in the kingdom of God and the kingdom of God forever. And see, that's possible. Heaven is on earth. It is here. It is here. I have seen it. I have been in it. I have walked in it. I walk in the light. And my job is to condition myself to move away from my human self, my human worries, my human concerns, and recognize that all that I am seeking is already done. See, I need to slow down and catch the breath, catch her breath, and allow her wisdom. See, all who seek her, they talk about this, all who seek her gain her knowledge and wisdom. But it is most important to move beyond just seeking her wisdom and taking the wisdom, but also to move into using this knowledge and this wisdom for the highest and best, to bring love, to bring joy, to bring peace, to bring harmony to this world, to be a representation of the Most High within us. See, we begin to embrace and embody these aspects. Mary Magdalene did that. She embraced these aspects of the divine. She took the wisdom and she embodied it within her and then set it out into the world as a loving, tender devotee of the way. So I'm going to read something. Her radiance, it never ceases. In every generation, she passes into Holy Soul. And that is from the Book of the Wisdom, the Light Bearer. And Joyce Krupp, who I happen to love, Joyce Krupp, eternal lamp of love. Eternal lamp of love. That's what she calls it. An eternal lamp of love that is in us, the Divine Mother. See, as we move into this divine feminine, this time where the divine feminine is rising, we begin to apply spiritual principles that have always been present. We just read from a different perspective now and teach from a different perspective and embody from a different perspective. God is not punishing. God is all loving. God is not a man in the sky. God is an eternal presence that is always available to everyone. No doors are closed to God or to a connection to this spirit, to this source, to this oneness, to this universal creative presence. No door is closed to anyone. All doors are open. The spirit is always present. And when you are walking in the light and you slow down, you begin to see the truth with a capital T, the truth of the soul, the truth of the holy dwelling place. And you, as you move into being one with the Spirit and you move away from these ego-driven practices, you find a place where you begin to be used by Spirit. You begin to be used by Source, by God. And your life takes on a new form, a new meaning, as you are a representation of the Most High. In this moment, in this time, I invite you to take a look inside as we see the representation of her, as we feel her within us. Breath of God breathing through you. She is the wind. She is the breath. She is the kiss that kissed you when your soul was incarnated. She is a vibrant presence. She is the bearer of your light. She is the radiant star in your heart. Her radiance never ceases. Allow her radiant light to shine through you. Allow her breath of love to move through you. Allow yourself to be wrapped up in this divine presence. See, it's not about male or female, even though we are talking about her. In the ancient teachings, one cannot be realized without the other. So you cannot be a fully realized male or female if you do not recognize the divine presence of both and merge them into holy union and come into the embodiment of one. You must have those aspects fully realized within you. So to deny her is to deny the very existence of life itself. Now, on the path to enlightenment, we begin to shed those away and we move into a space of divine neutrality. We move into a space where we are no longer male or female, we just are. However, we are bringing back in the image of God as a female. We are bringing back into history the representation, the other half, the other 50% of God. God is a representation of all things in life. There is nothing on this earth that is not a representation of this God essence, this luminous, brilliant presence. So by elevating her, we begin to embrace wisdom in deeper levels. And we seek to move away from war, move into peace, move into love, move into this unconditional love. And we bring upon us a new dawn, a new way. Walking in the feminine, we do not need to use our spiritual texts as weapons to kill our brothers and sisters because they don't agree with us. We use our text to bring us into harmony with the light so that we may begin to birth a new dawn that is so bright, so filled with love, that the wars don't even exist. It's not in our heart to create war. We create love. We create unity. We create communities where our children are thriving. We stop mass genocide because they don't agree with our principles. And we stand for us sitting at each other's table, breaking bread together. The love of God is bigger than a name. The love of God is all present, luminous, omnipresent, omnipotent. And so as we move into this breath of Sakina, of Shekinah, as we move into her breath, And we move into her holy dwelling place, which is in your heart, the presence of God within you. Allow yourself to embrace the embodiment of the Most High, for she is within you, a living aspect of you, living within you to help you along your spiritual path and to be guided by Sophia's wisdom, by the wisdom of God. To take her wisdom and then apply these principles that you are gaining in spiritual maturity and with the sacred feminine. So my wish for you, my prayer for you today is that you may come to know another aspect within yourself of wisdom through her breath blowing through your heart. And I know, as your heart softens and opens and begins to walk deeper in the way of the feminine, we begin to activate ourselves as spiritual birth mothers, spiritual midwives, spiritual midfathers in the way, in the new way, in the light. The second coming, the dawn, the new dawn that's upon us. This beautiful, luminescent place where unconditional love, peace, friendliness, joyfulness, kindness, taking care of our neighbor when they can't eat, making sure that they are cared for and taken care of. Applying the principles that are in this Bible, not the hate interpretations, but the love of God as us, by us, through us. May you be an emanation of the Most High. That is my prayer for you. May you come to recognize your own holiness and start walking in that way. And not in a piety, but in a truthfulness where your joy lights up the room, so much so that people can't help but be joyful and kind and loving in your presence. Allow that to melt away what's in us. So, my beloveds, this morning, I send to you deep and abiding love, knowing that you are in the holy dwelling place. It is always present. You just need to bring your awareness to it. And I send you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful love. We send blessings to you and to the world and to all of the children that walk this earth. May they be kissed